the work, the Avodas Hashem and Kislev is all about sleep. If you notice, like this year, like the first Shabbos, you don't hear me?
No.
I don't want to use my teacher voice. I want to be mellow now. When do I get a break from using my teacher voice? You need the teacher voice. Okay. All right. So this year, the first Shabbos in Kislev is Toldos, but normally it's like it begins with Vayetze, and four parshiot from Vayetze onward, every single one of them has a dream association to it. And the first dream in Vayetze, of course, is the dream of Jacob's ladder, Yaakov Avinu and the Sulam Yaakov, and then it goes to Yosef's dreams and Paro's dreams, and everybody seems to be dreaming, and it's all about sleep. And the nights are the longest in Kislev. And the question is, how is sleep an avoda? How do we bring sleep into avodas Hashem? What is the deeper meaning of sleep? That we approach it with kedusha and something that's supposed to help us in our ruchnias. There's a Rabbi Yerucham, he says, sleep is the highest madrega. And a person can live 70, 80, whatever Admei Veslim years of his life and still not attain the level at the madrega of sleep. Do you hear me okay? And, during the day, this is where our conscious mind works. And we're always calculating, we're associating, we're comparing, we're commenting, we're judging. All kinds of comments and all kinds of chatter goes on in our brain when we're awake, with our conscious mind. And somehow to connect to Avodas Hashem with all that chatter and clutter, sometimes it's hard to hear ourselves. It's hard to hear ourselves think, and it's hard to hear ourselves, connect to our inner selves, higher selves, let alone hearing the whispers of Hashem, what He wants to tell us through all that noise. But sleep, we're unconscious when we sleep. So how do we tap into all of that when we're sleeping? And it seems to be that sleep is intended to bring us in touch with the highest and deepest secrets of what Hashem wants to tell us in an uninterrupted way, bypassing the brain, straight from HaKadosh Baruch Hu to our neshama. So we called this evening Beyadcha Afkidruchi. How do you translate that? In your hands, we Beyadcha Afkidruchi. Right. We give our soul and trust to you, Hashem, when we go to sleep. And when we wake up, this is, of course, something we say in Adon Olam. It's associated with going to sleep. We also say Adon Olam in the morning. But it really was an intention. It was a piyut written for preparing us for nighttime. And when we wake up in the morning, we say, Modani, thank you for giving me back my soul. So somehow between me entrusting my soul to Hashem at nighttime and getting it back in the morning, there's that whole period of sleep that wonderful things are meant to happen. So the perpetuates Rav says, he describes sleep, as we all know, it's a quieting of the mind. It's a quieting of the mind, because the mind is so very busy during the day. But unlike Rabbi Yerucham, who said the ultimate madrega is sleep, Pietzetsna added a little bit. He says the highest level is to bring the sleep state when you're awake. That the conscious mind is quieted down and can actually think what it wants to think, as opposed to what it's bombarded to think because of all the outside stimulus. Following me? Mm-hmm. And these are very high madregas. So Yaakov Avinu, he flees from his brother Esau that wants to kill him. He's 63 years old. He has to go to Chutzlaritz, he has to go into Gullus to find what? First of all, to save his life, but also to find wives. He's 63 years old. Meanwhile, his twin, who has not the best reputation of being an upstanding citizen, to say the least, he's married, he's got children, he gets to live next to his tzaddik father, and gets to stay in Eretz Israel. And Yaakov Avinu saying, and I'm the one fleeing? Something's not right here with the script. How I am meant to live my life. At this point, I'm the one running for my life. Welcome. And he decides the only way to survive this nisayon of coming in touch with things that I don't understand why this is happening, and we can all associate what's happening here in Israel, October 7th, Simchat Shabbat. We don't understand a thing. Yaakov Avinu had a choice. I could either decide to think that all of my killing myself to be good all this time, Mesiras Nefesh on behalf of goodness, was a waste of time. My brother had it right the whole time. Because clearly, there's no justice in this world if this can happen. Or he can fall into a complete depressive state and say, this does not make sense, it's Hefker, I'm checking out of this world. And he did neither. What did he do? Tell me what he did. He went to sleep. What does that mean? He went to sleep. This is the meat of the month. Yaakov Avinu is our teacher. He opens up. Normally, how come Kislev, Nechama, a resident scholar here, how come this year Kislev is starting in Toldos?
Kislev is starting where?
Kislev is this week, and the parsha of the month, the opening parsha of Kislev is Toldos. Usually it's Vayetze. Okay, I don't know, some calculation, some mathematical calculation with some okay.
It happens.
I guess it happens because it's happening this.
Happens when Rosh Hashanah hits when Rosh Hashanah hits.
Because Rosh Hashanah was a Shabbos, and we missed a few like parshiot on the Shabbases because of Sukkot also. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, in any case, Yaakov Avinu goes to sleep. What does that mean? What does going to sleep mean? You're shutting off your mind.
He's accessing his higher.
He's accessing a higher self, but before he accesses his higher self, he's admitting, I can't understand what's going on with me using my rational mind. There's absolutely no calculations that I can make that's going to make sense of this. I cannot make sense of this. It just doesn't add up. So I have to shut my mind off. Whatever I know, whatever I think I know.
It's not the first time he sleeps in how many years? Because he's just spent the last
14 years in Yeshiva of Shema Never, right?
Day and night. So
it's significant. It's an avoda to know when to shut your mind. So sleep is when we go to sleep. We tuck ourselves in bed and we go to sleep. But it's also a state of consciousness that we're meant to access. When things don't make sense, when we're going through an isayon, and we have to give it over to what? To Hashem. And what is that called? Emunah. Giving ourselves over to sleep means giving ourselves over to emunah. Sleep is all about faith. If you think about it, if a person faints for 2 seconds, you're already calling a tzala. But a person is unconscious literally for several hours, you're not calling a tzala? Why? When they're asleep, right? Dead to the world. We even use that term, dead to the world. You can scream like certain people if you're a good sleeper. No amount of noise, no amount of light, no matter of anything going on in the room will wake you up. You're completely subconscious, and nobody's like freaking out. Like, what's wrong with them? No, because you're sleeping. It's normal. Because we're used to it. But really, it's not normal. It's nothing normal about it, if you think about it. So we say, in Adon Olam be'yadof kiduchi, in your hands, I entrust my spirit, my soul. This is emunah. This means going into sleep mode. I'm not trying to figure this out with my brain. And I think Am Yisrael in this tkufa, in this matzav that we're in, ever since Simchas Torah, have been going into sleep mode on this major emuna. We don't care what this is like. This doesn't make sense, but we are clinging on to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're clinging on to emuna. We're going to do the mitzvahs of Hashem. We're going to love each other the way we're meant to love each other, despite ideological differences. Doesn't make sense anymore. You are my brother, you are my sister, you're in my heart. That's sleep mode. Because look at these so-called secular, there's no such thing as secular Jew, for heaven's sake. It's just Jews, not even a Haredi Jew. We're just Jews. And when when we're awake, our eyes catch on to images, this type of kapota, this type of whatever, hat, kippah, no kippah, ponytail, earrings, whatever it is, doesn't make a difference. When we're awake, when we look at each other with waking eyes, with a conscious mind, calculating mind, that's where the problems are. So maybe that's what Rabbi Yerucha meant, that the highest madrega to reach is sleep.
Like poor.
Mamash.
Adult.
Ad lo yada. The avoda of Kislev is to go into that sleep mode of, I only go to what's emes. Emes is emuna. Emes is what's written in the Torah. Emes is that we are one people. We are one soul. We are Knesset Yisrael. And we may look different, doesn't bother me, doesn't faze me. I'm still going to love you. I'm still going to be doing what I need to do. So going to sleep means having tremendous emuna. I don't have answers. And I certainly, whatever it is that I thought I knew, I don't know it. When is the first time that we come across sleep in Tanakh, in Chumash? Adam Harishon. What was the situation? He needed a zivig. Hashem put him to sleep. She was very close to him. She was part of him. But then Hashem put Adam Harishon to sleep. And when he woke up, she was facing him as a separate entity from him. And he looked at her after the sleep. You're a wondrous being. I don't know you. I want to know you. I want to get to know you. I have no preconceived notions of who you are. I have no prejudices of what you are, who you are. But boy, do I really want to get to know you. That's when you face to face somebody for the first time. After you clear your mind in a sleep mode, you come back refreshed, without all of the prejudice, without any preconceived notions, no ready-made answers. You're just like a clean slate for me, and I want to know you. It's so special to see all of those videos of between all of the people in those so-called demonstrations in Tel Aviv, like all of that balagan, and like now they're finally facing each other, and they're hugging and they're thanking each other. The Haredim are thanking the soldiers for doing what they're doing, and the soldiers are thanking the Haredim for feeding them and bringing endless steaks and whatever it is that they're bringing them. Endless chesed. Thank you. I never saw you before. How did I not see who you are? Our slate was cleaned off. What happened to us? Simchas Torah. And thank God we rose to the occasion of going into sleep mode. Thank God, because that shifting into emunah, there's only one task. Yachad nenatzech, beyachad nenatzech, only beyachad nenatzech. And that allows us all of a sudden to see the neshama within the other person. So special. Okay.
Maybe it's good for us to realize that this is our natural state.
Yes, sleep is a
Right.
natural
I
state.
mean, like, it's natural for us to not see differences.
Absolutely.
Just
Yes.
to like appreciate that for a minute.
Correct. To appreciate that for a minute. Do not, this is, I daven, what I daven for. Because like at Shevach, we were learning the book, Emma Benim Smecha Rav Techtel, and he wrote it during the Holocaust. And he didn't survive it. And he's talking about Yeshuv Eretz Yisrael. And he's like pushing people, Israel is our home, you got to go back. And when this war will be over, and it will be over because we're going to survive this, don't forget what it felt like to be here, to yearn to go back to Israel, to be in the state of achdus that we felt, and the achrayas and the responsibility we felt for one another. So many times in history we went through these situations, but it didn't last. The need to stay together, the need to be unified, and the need for Mashiach and for Beit HaMikdash and for Am Yisrael, we pay lip service to it, but we don't really connect to it. It doesn't enter our heart. And he was begging them, please don't forget this. After this is over, don't stay here. Don't start thinking you're gonna rebuild your life here, wherever here is in Europe. So that's because I have this in my head, I'm like, there's gonna be a next phase after the nitzachon that we will for sure experience and celebrate. And the next thing is how much are we going to stay with all of this love and achdut that we found now? And it's going to be an isayon, not to fall back. So it's something to daven for starting now, like really bring it into our consciousness. So the last thing I'm going to be saying is the letter, the Hebrew letter associated with Kislev is Samech. Samech is a circle. Samech as a word means to support. There's shmirah. It's all about shmirah. It's all about protection. And if it also means support, what are you supporting? Those that fall. Somech noflim. In the Ashrei, there's no, it follows the Aleph Bet. Every letter has its pasuk, except Nun doesn't have its own pasuk. Nun follows in the same pasuk as Samech, shows up as noflim, but somech noflim. Hashem supports those that fall.
It fell out of order.
It fell out of order. Nice, cute. Did you just make that up?
Yes.
That's cool.
Because it's always bothered me. We say that, but it should be nun sama.
It should be Nun Samech, but right, but it fell out of order.
Like I heard it.
Beautiful. Okay, so the Nun stands for falling, and the Samech stands for smicha. And so, if we're talking about sleep, the expression is we fall into sleep. And even in Hebrew, vayapel alav tardema. Isn't it interesting? Yapel, lipol sounds like fall. The root of that English word is Hebrew's Lashon Chodesh. Amazing. Vayapel, you fall into sleep. It's not something that you sleep is not something. Sleep is something we can prepare ourselves for, but we don't actually bring sleep upon ourselves. We hope to fall asleep, but it's a God-given gift. We just do the preparations. It's not the time now, like the whole avoda of even how to approach sleep. It's not for now. It's a whole other share. But to sleep properly, there's the Kriya Shema Lamita. There's the Ribono Shalom paragraph of not going to sleep, holding on to grudges, anger, anything. You're forgiving the whole world. Especially the closest people to you that hurt us the most, or we feel the most hurt from. You make sure that you're giving over your soul with a clean slate to Hashem, that you don't fall asleep when sleep takes over you, because Hashem has decided now you're going to be sleeping. You're not going to sleep with all that noise and dissociation from your own higher self because of all the balagan that's going on in your life that you didn't let go of. You have to go to say now. What happens when I said I wasn't going to give the shear, but I'm giving the shear? Like, what's going on? Okay, just a little bit more. When you do that, then when you go to sleep properly, when you clear your system, with proper prayer, proper making amends, get to a sweet place within yourself, and you say all those paragraphs of Kriya Shema, then the neshama, we know that sleep is a 60th of death. So there's parts of our neshama that ascend on high, and it gets its evaluation. How did you do today? Did you fulfill all your mitzvahs that you were meant to do? Did you do your hishtadlus? It gets a whole, I see some creases in this part of you and that part of you. Let me refresh you so that you can wake up, say Mo'ad Modeani, and continue your life with the mission that Hashem gave you. Bezrat Hashem, you'll do well. It's a plugging in of secrets of the soul. That's help. We can do that when we go to sleep properly. I'm not going to say anything more about that, but trust me, there's a whole share about that. But the last thing I'm going to say is Yaakov Avinu. Remember before, what did he do to prepare himself to sleep? Who remembers? Right. He takes 12 rocks and puts it around his head, like a samech around his head. He's bringing around shmirah. He's saying, I'm going to sleep. I'm going into emunah. I need protection in this place. Because emunah means I'm going into a place of an unknown. I don't know what's going to be there, but I'm trusting that it's going to be okay. But how many stones did he put around his head?
One.
It became one.
It starts off as 12.
It starts off at 12. What is the significance of 12? The 12 tribes. So another thing, aside, like you go to sleep mode. You go into sleep mode, like you're shifting into emunah. I don't understand. I know nothing. I know nothing. I understand nothing. All I know is that I'm a Jew and I need to behave like a Jew. And right now, this is the order of the day. We're going to hug and kiss each other, and we're going to provide for each other. And we're going to biyachad nenatzech this thing. And Be'ezrat Hashem. Be'ezrat Hashem. The slogan after 6-Day War was Kol HaKavod Tzahal. We don't hear that now. We say Be'ezrat Hashem. Everybody's saying Be'ezrat Hashem. With Hashem's help, we're going to do this. It's so beautiful what's going on. It's just so beautiful. It's the shifting into emunah. And so how I'm relating this to the 12 rocks that Yaakov Avinu put around his head is that you're going into the shmirah b'shem kol Israel. You're not alone here. You're not a single entity here. The shmirah, the sleep mode, the emunah that we're shifting ourselves in has to be b'shem kol Israel. Has to be with the mindfulness of we're all in this together. Not one at the expense of another. Chas v'shalom. It's always together. So Bezrat Hashem, we'll hear good news sooner rather than later. Hanukkah is at the end of the month, but we want the Nisim of Kislev happening at the beginning of this month, Bezrat Hashem. Now, I have aside from this, I have like a meditation that I want to do with you, but I think it's enough of me talking for now. Let's hear some more music. And then when I'll feel like it, I'll start.
And if people are interested, but y'all have to be the ones to choose. I'm not trying to impose it, but I brought along a Tehillim Kulak if we want to together say a Sefer Tehillim.
Okay.
Here. No, this is my friend. Thank you so much. Everybody's looking at me silly. I'm going to do this one. Excuse you.
That's awesome. Katonki. Yeah, more. So beautiful. Thank you. So maybe we'll do a meditation. We'll put a little bit of that sleep that I spoke about into practice. Yeah? Okay. You guys, like, are you happy being in the back there? Like, I'd love to, if you can, no, move,
You would say, yeah.
could you move back a little bit? Okay. All right. So for this, I'm gonna ask you to, get into a really relaxed state. I'm gonna ask you to close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. And take deep breaths. And then once we're quieted the mind a little bit, I'll guide you into some meditations, but it's gonna be stuff that's gonna show itself up from within you. Little bit of guidance, just to opening to help you open up to what's going on inside yourself, a little bit to get in touch. So find yourself sitting comfortably, feel your small of your back being supported by the chair, feet planted on the floor, just arms in a comfortable position. And you're going to scan from head to toe slowly from the top, making sure that everything's relaxed. You're not holding tension around your eyes, around your jaw. You're feeling relaxed in your shoulders. Notice if there's any tension, you're just going to allow it to be released. Your fingers are in a relaxed place. You're not clenching, you're not, whatever is relaxed and natural. And you're going down your chest, your legs. You're going to take deep breaths, like inhaling and exhaling for at least 4 counts. And to help quiet the mind, you're just going to make breathing, observing your breathing, the focus of your attention of what you're thinking about. Just noticing how your chest cavity rises with the inhale, collapses, goes inward with the exhales. You're noticing the sounds that the air you breathe in through your nose makes as it goes through the nostrils, very fine whispers. You're making your breath the object of your thinking. Sometimes you're going to have other thoughts float up into your conscious mind, and you're going to allow them just to surface and to float on by. Not going to comment on them. Not going to stay stuck on them. You're allowing the thoughts to float up and away as if you're watching observing something on a screen that just passes by. You're not commenting, you're not saying anything other than just allowing the thoughts to float on by. And you're breathing. Deep, heavy breaths. I'll let you do that for another 3-4 breaths. with your breath being the only object of your thinking. I'm going to ask you, in this place of calm, to picture yourself in a good place. It's the first image that comes to your mind. First image, always it's the first answer that you go with. A good place, you're in a good place. Now you're going to flesh out all the details of this good place. Where are you? Is it outdoors? Is it indoors? What's occupying this place? Are there trees? Are there chairs? What is it? Where are you? Notice the colors. Describe this place to yourself with as many details as possible. Is it nighttime? Is it daytime? What season is this happening? This, where you found yourself now, what season is it? And you're looking around and you're fleshed out as many details as possible from the sense of sight. Are there sounds associated with this place? Hear them. Be aware of them in this place that you find yourself in a good place. What are the sounds? Notice where you are in relation to the sounds and where you are in this place. Is there a scent, like a smell associated with this place? Is there a taste associated with this place? What is the feel of this place? And see yourself in this place. Notice where you are in this place. Now, notice your feelings in this place. Be very in touch with what you are feeling. Describe it. What words would describe the feelings? Where is it in your body? And from that place and that feeling, a prayer comes up from your neshama, from your soul. Hear it. What is that prayer? What is that prayer? What are you praying from that place with that feeling? And somehow, somewhere beyond this place, there are captives in Gaza, 240 of them, of all ages. And you're looking at them from this prayer. Now, what are you saying in the prayer? What is that prayer that you have coming up from within you for the captives? What is that prayer? If you have been davening for a particular captive, if you have a picture of them in your mind, or it's all of them together, if it's for a female, a male, a young child, an older person, an elderly, whatever it is, flesh out the details of this person or this collective group, whatever it is. Look at them and pray for them. And as you're praying for them, you see them slowly coming out of captivity. You are picturing them coming out of captivity. Whatever that looks like in your image, see it. What does it look like? Flesh it out with as many details as possible in your internal eyesight. What's the description of that if you would have to describe it to somebody? What does that look like? That the captives are coming out of captivity now. Notice your feelings as you see them coming out after you prayed. What are you telling them? Look at the captives. What do you want to tell them? What are you saying to them now? Have them see you speaking to them. What are you saying to them? And now the redeemed captives, looking at you, having heard what you had to tell them, what are they telling you? Hear what they have to tell you. And you're raising your eyes to Shemaim and you're giving another prayer. What is that prayer after this encounter? Pray it. And when you're ready, feel yourself back sitting in your chair in this room, bringing back feelings to your feet and to your hands slowly when you're ready. You can move some muscles, you can open your eyes. At any point, if anybody wants to share what this experience was like for you, this meditation, I would certainly love to hear it.
May I say something?
Sure. Tell me your name.
Lisa,
Yes, Lisa.
how can I go to see the practice? Coming out and racing them, talking to them and hearing what they have to say.
Can you come closer a little bit just so that the mic can pick you up? I'm sorry.
Maybe on the screen.
Yeah. You don't want to be on the screen?
No,
But this is for the audio because people are home listening, so I want them to hear. Okay. So you would picture the captives coming out?
yeah, and it felt good. It felt, I guess, somewhat healing, or just felt special to experience that and see them coming out, and then speak to them, pray for them, hear what they have to say, and just embracing them, holding them. Felt good.
Felt good. What did they tell you?
That was,
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay.
They told me something.
They told you something. Anyone else wants to share? Yeah. What's your name? Who? Oh, yeah. Just hold it and like whatever, if you don't mind. Hold it and speak to it. Speak to it.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to be here. Rosh Chodesh, Kislev, it's really mixed of feelings. In a way, I should be happy. It's Rosh Chodesh, it's my holiday, but so I'm actually practicing this meditation for a long time about the hostages, visualizing them coming. And in this now, right now, is the response was that they have gratitude toward Ribono Shel Olam because they were saved and they felt good and they felt all our connection and prayers and tehillim and all this crying in our hearts. And I'm sure everyone, not only us. So I'm just feeling very strongly that they're going to come out safe. And then, and we're going to be surprised. It's so real. And then I heard the Anuka saying that it's a good time to picture, to draw a Magen David, Star of David around them, and put Yudke Vavke in the center of theirs. So I try to do it on each one. For a long time, I'm practicing that. But now I just felt like seeing miracles by Hashem, that He's saving them, He's with them. We don't have to worry longer, and hoping that will be some miracles now for them and be saved, all the Chayalim and everyone else. Probably Mashiach is in his way. So to me, it's the beginning of the Geulah. There's nothing at all. It hurts, it's painful, but it's a great time. That's how I think.
And was anyone surprised at what came up for them?
Thank you.
Was anyone surprised at the place that you found yourself in, or the prayer that came out from your? Any of it was surprising? No? Anyone else? Yes?
He said, I have never had that image before. I had to do it on shore because of your fingers. Beautiful.
Can you slowly just?
I was,
Is it okay?
I was literally floating on a cloud above the earth. And it was so peaceful and it was so relaxing. I felt so close to Hashem and such clarity and such beauty, such purity that I brought the captives there with me.
איזה יופי. איזה יופי. איזה יופי. Okay, so if anybody wants to share, otherwise we're gonna have some more food. Yeah?
I'm happy to share.
Oh, good. What your name?
My name is Lina. Chodesh Tov. I found myself dancing at the beach, and it was so lovely. I was like, okay, first image. And when you brought in the idea of the hostages, it felt like it was like, no, I can't go there right now. I felt like vulnerable, you know? And I was like, okay. And then that like Hit Nagdut popped, and then they were all dancing with me at the beach, and there was so much light. And just like seeing them, I must imagine them like coming out of a tunnel, like, may you be zochet to dance, may you be zochet to feel the sunshine on your face, and just, oh, the shichur. And an idea that came to mind was like not to call them the captives, but like the returnees, like Shuva Hashem et shivitenu kafikim b'negev, like the people that are returning to us
איזה יופי.
can with a lot of healing
Oh my
powers.
gosh,
B'ezrat
so
Hashem.
beautiful.
Thank
What's
you.
your name?
Bina.
Bina.
Ken.
Wow. So great. Yeah, Malka Sarah. I'll take a pause.
I was doubting that they should feel the Shekhinah with them. Each one of them should feel inside themselves that the Shekhinah was with them. And then when you said envision them getting out, I could see the soldiers, the young soldiers coming, and they were looking at each other face to face, the hostages and the soldiers, with such joy and such love, as if they were like parents and children, or brothers, or like really, really close. And they felt so close to each other, like complete unity with each other. And they said, the hostages said, we felt all your tefillos, we felt all of your wishes and everything that you did, everything that everyone's been doing with that internal motivation, we felt it, and that's what, like, it freed us, and we felt it. Right. Anyone else?
Okay. What are we gonna hear now, Tamar? You realize that this meditation, any meditation, we just bypassed our brain and we went straight to the soul, the speak of the soul. Right? We just shut off our imagination. We shut off our conscious mind, but we went into an imagination. But the first images that come up is really the first thing that your soul offers to you. If you start choosing between images, your brain is involved again and you've lost it.
Well, I also feel like, well, we didn't see it. It woke us up, it woke me up. Well,
It's a sleep state that wakes you up. Isn't that interesting? I love that. Wow. Yeah, it's a madriga. It's really allowing the soul to have the floor, like so to speak, right? It's decluttering ourselves to allow the real things that's supposed, the essence to come out. I love that. Say that again. The sleep allowed you to feel awake,
but it definitely woke me up because I wasn't, I felt more present.
more present with
the
yourself, with your higher self.
returnees. What did you say? Returnees.
With the
With the
returnees.
returnees, then I have been able to sort of access, and especially when you mentioned, trying to vision somebody, I was envisioning like people whose faces that I could see, and that was very, very helpful as well. And when you asked what they were actually saying, I don't know what they said, but I do know that that there was a tremendous amount of like desire to like tefillah for them that came up afterwards when you asked people to just pray. It's like it was so clearly there. And when one more thing, and that is when you so we're in our like safe, beautiful space, right?
Right.
And then you ask to bring them in. My first reaction was, wait, that's not safe anymore, and it's not beautiful anymore. And how can I bring them here? And I did. And that's what woke me up, I would say. That's what woke me up. Yeah.
Nice. Great, thank you.
Can I share something?
Yeah,
also?
sure, Hannah.
Well, I mean, you can just keep it nearby.
Well,
Um, well, I liked the idea of calling them returnees, and I think we should share that with everybody that we know. That's like, our thoughts and our words have power, so I really liked that. And so I think you were asking us to picture, them coming back, and I thought they're gonna come back in our own vehicles and our own Jeeps with our own soldiers. And then I was thinking, what a tikkun, throughout our history, we've been like taken captives and we've been victims. And to, triumph and to take our people out ourselves. And I saw that in my meditation and all the joy, and just saw it as like a complete tikkun of our past.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, good, thank you.
So can I say it, please?
Of course.
The two thoughts I had actually remind me a bit of what you were saying when you were talking about Yadot Kiruchi and it's okay. No.
And the battery's gonna die in a minute anyway, so.
Better it's there for me. And I'll turn it
Yeah,
on.
okay, fine.
So it reminded, and sleep, sleep. So it reminded me of something my husband grew up with. His mother would say, even when they said Shema at night, then she would say, like, it's not even, we're not even sure where it came from. It's not really a pasuk. And we finally found it in one Sephardi Siddur, which is basically, she would say with him every night, B'tov alin, v'akitz barachamim. Do you know this?
No, but it's beautiful.
B'tov
word.
alin, v'akitz barachamim.
I will go to sleep with good, and I will
Goodness.
wake up with compassion.
Compassion. Tov alin v'akitz barachamim. And first of all, I just want to bless, that this nightmare, whatever everybody's going through, and especially the people out there, when they return, please God, it should be, right, basically, ayinu kacholmi, like you said, when we're just thinking Yeshivat Hashem, right? And it should be able to really heal from that, B'ezrat Hashem. So it was reminding me of a few things. Talking about Samech before. Samech is one of the two letters that in the Luchot HaBrit, it was carved out, right? And there were two letters that stood by themselves, right? Benes Hayomdim, right? Benes Hayomdim, which was the Samech, and the Mem Sofi, which is closed. Like there's nothing to hold on to keep it up, right? So so the Samech is really like this embrace, right? And you mentioned, Samech Hashem Akol Naflim, right? So we just came out of Sukkot, which feels like years ago, where we say, Rachamad Yakim Lanu, it's Sukkot David Hanofelet. May Hashem really raise up for us this Sukkot David that is falling. It doesn't say it fell, it's not fallen, that it's falling. And it feels like this Samech, right, is like this embrace that is falling, but it's falling with the noflim, but it's not actually fallen, and it's like protecting the fall in a certain way. So mech Hashem noflim, and we should just know that that's really the state of where we're at. We just feel like everything's like collapsed and everything's down there. Samech is also gematria shishim, gematria 60, and 60 is the same gematria, it's the same letters, the amount of letters that there are in Birkat Kohanim, same amount of letters, right? If you count them, it's 60 letters.
So it's
And
protection.
it's like protection, and we're coming like to the Chag of the Kohen Gadol, which is Aaron Kohen, which is Ohev Shalom V'Rodef Shalom, who's like, he's the one who loves peace and pursues peace, B'ezrat Hashem. So yeah, and there's one thing I want to do before we end with everybody, really, but before that also, we're getting to this, like this is the month of Nisim, right? Last month the letter was Nun. This month it's Samech, and together it's Nisim, right? It's Benes Hayomdim, right? We're standing here. It's like we have no idea how we're here in the first place, and it's a dark month. It's a month of like dreams and nighttime, right? It's the darkest month almost of the year, but there's like that light that's shining through, right? And so there is, so just going back a couple weeks to Lech Lecha, right? Lech Lecha, right? Which Hashem tells Avraham Avinu. And Rashi says, Lech Lecha, right? And really like go to yourself, right? We know that, right? Like go to yourself. But something I learned recently, El haaretz asher areka, right? Go, right, to yourself. El haaretz asher areka, to the land where I will show you, right? El haaretz asher areka, in the land that I will show you yourself, who you are and what you are. And it feels so amazing that this past month, in all the devastation that we're going through, it's like you said, like we're waking, or whatever. So it's like,
the
essence is coming out of everybody, which is so beautiful. And I'm not sure if this is actually an active halacha or not, but we know that we like light the chanukiyot in the window or in the doorway, right? The petach, which is the petach of ourselves, it's like our inner light that's shining out to people, right? and it's subtle and it's beautiful and we don't abuse it, B'ezrat Hashem. And there's like, I think it's halacha, maybe, tell me,